Hi, everybody. Yeah, thanks ever so much for joining this morning. I want to talk to you about something that's a little bit different when it comes to using paid media to help you basically get your customers to help you grow your business. And whether that is through basically generating customers that buy more from you, or whether it's generating customers that like what you're doing and then actually help you to recommend you to others. So when you think of paid media, so many businesses tend to only focus on paid media to drive actual conversions, whereas I think there's so much more that you can use it for. And I think if you look at a typical conversion funnel, what we typically see is people are using paid media for things like driving awareness when it comes to display advertising, consideration and preference. People tend to go down to the route of using typical paid search ads, and then buying stage is like PLAs, Google Shopping, that kind of thing, coupled with search as well. But I think the most important thing to think about is when people do consider paid, most people tend to focus on the buying phase, and they tend to think, okay, well, I'm going to invest X amount and I want to get X amount in return, which is effectively the right way to think about things. But if you're only thinking about that small slice of that funnel, you're missing out on a huge percentage of the market. So as advertisers, what we need to start thinking about is targeting people at every single stage, right from awareness, right the way through to loyalty and advocacy. And in this talk, I'm going to help you try and shift your mindset slightly. Start thinking outside the box, because if we're thinking about paid media purely from a buying perspective, you're missing out on some of your most profitable customers. Now, this is a curve graph that's showing you, if you've typically got your one-time buyers, your first-time buyers, typically businesses will see around a 20% of their profit comes from those one-time purchases. They then get a really huge percentage of people that come back and buy from them at sort of 2 or 3 times. But where you make the biggest amount of profit is from customers that come back time and time again. And the reason that we kind of look at things in this way is if you consider how much it actually costs you to acquire a new customer. There was a study done by Social Annex that basically shows it costs you around 500% more to acquire a new customer than it does to keep a current one. So as advertisers and as business owners, we need to start thinking about our existing customer base and making sure that we're doing amazing stuff for them and offering them sort of discounts and loyalty schemes so that we can try and encourage them to come back from us time and time again. Now, I don't know about you, but people that were doing paid advertising back in the year 2000 when AdWords just launched and going on for sort of 10 odd years from there, really, all we really had to target our customers with were keywords. We had to upload a load of keywords, and then we had to write ad text that then essentially matches the keywords that we're trying to target, which is essentially what we've still got today. But now, as we flash into 2017 and beyond, we've got a lot more that we can get excited by. And the biggest change that we've seen coming into the paid advertising landscape over the past few years is we can now target our audiences via PPC. And this is where paid funnel targeting gets really, really powerful. The reason it gets powerful is because this is something that your competitors are completely unable to replicate. So if you think of how much time and effort you spend in investing in sort of driving traffic through to your website, whether that's from organic, from social, from paid, whatever medium it is, whether you're doing TV advertising, you're driving people through off the back of that, we spend a lot of time and effort trying to generate visitors through to our website. And once you've got that audience there, the most amazing thing that we can now do within paid is we can help them to actually work their way down that purchase funnel. So whether it's that you're driving traffic into the site into a blog post, and then you start doing various things to try and funnel those people that have been interested in a piece of content right the way through to actually buying from you, this is all stuff that we can do within paid. And I think as advertisers, thinking about how we can use our audiences is so important. And when you consider what we're trying to do when it comes to sort of as business owners, we're trying to constantly think about what's our USP, what makes us different to our competitors. And that in a crowded marketplace is becoming ever more difficult. And I think as we move forward into 2017, I think we need to start thinking about our audience as our UMP. So try and forget about USPs and start thinking about your audience, because your audience is your unique marketing point. If I go back to a couple of slides from what we were just talking about, your competitors can't replicate that. Like, your competitors can't get access to your audience, all of the traffic that you've built up into your website. And I think we need to start making a lot better use of that. And that also comes into play when you're thinking not just about funneling people through from awareness through to purchase and beyond. It's making sure that you're using your audience and you're starting to shift your mindset slightly, and you're targeting people and trying to help existing customers grow your business for you and help you recommend to others. So for the next few slides, we're going to have a quick look at 14 strategies to help you think beyond the conversion. So let's go back to the funnel. I've covered lots of things in previous talks that I've done about how we can help people funnel their way through from awareness right the way through to buy. But we're now going to focus purely on loyalty and advocacy. So let's start with loyalty. The reason that driving loyalty is important is if you look at this study here, another one done by Social Annex, is that 65% of consumers that they surveyed said that they would actually start receiving rewards actually impacts the frequency of how they purchase. So that's if you've got an existing customer and you're giving them a reward, or you're giving them a discount for coming back coming back and buying from you time and time again, these people are more likely to come back if they do get rewards off the back of this. But more so, 80% of shoppers would actually consider switching stores or brands if they were offered a more compelling discount or promotion. And I think this is becoming ever more important when you're looking at people that are searching online and how people do tend to buy and the buying habits that they've got. People are becoming less loyal to brands and less loyal to businesses, and they're shopping around a lot more and making sure that they're out there to try and get the best possible deal. So it's important that we're making really good use of our existing audiences and trying to help them buy from you time and time again, because that's where you're going to get the most profit off the back of that. So let's have a look at 8 strategies then to begin with that can help you boost the lifetime value of your customer. The first one is how we can use remarketing lists for search ads, so RLSAs, so that when somebody is searching, if you've got an existing customer that goes and searches for one of your competitor brand names, you can start displaying adverts to them within search saying, hey, did you know we've got a loyal customer discount here? If you come back and buy from us again, you're going to get X% off an additional service or purchase. You can limit this so you're not just doing blanket competitor advertising, because if you start doing that, a lot of the time what you tend to find is your quality scores get impacted off the back of PPC, and people don't necessarily click through. But in this instance, what we're doing is we're going to be uploading either an RLSA list, so a remarketing list, and applying it to search, or you upload a list of email addresses of people that have purchased from you in the past. If they then go and search for a competitor, that's when you can then show your advert. The second thing that we can do is we can do remarketing to try and upsell to those customers. So if you've got, let's say, for example, you've got a business that sells mobile phones and you've got a list of people that have just gone out and they've just purchased the iPhone 7, as an example. The next possible purchase that that person is going to likely make is potentially going to be something like an iPhone cover or a phone charger for the car, or something related to that particular model of phone that they've brought. So what you can do in this instance, again, either with a remarketing list or a customer match list, upload all that data so that you know the exact people that have brought that particular model of phone from you, or whatever it is that you're trying to market. And then you follow them around with ads, remarketing ads, that are trying to cross-sell them to make an additional purchase that's relevant to the purchase that they've just made. Thirdly, in a similar way to how remarketing works, you can also do a similar thing with Gmail sponsored promotions. So what Google can do, if you've got a list of your customers that have made a purchase from you before, upload that into Gmail, and you can start to say, okay, if Google can match any of the email addresses within that list, so let's say for argument's sake, you upload 2,000 and Google are able to match 1,000 of those. And when I say match 1,000, it means that person has to either have a Gmail account or a Google account, YouTube account, anything that is associated to Google that helps them identify that you are that individual. When they're looking at their emails in Gmail and they're looking through the promotions in the promotions tab, or the emails in the promotions tab, your ad can appear at the top. Now, they're already going to have an affinity with you as a brand because they've just made a purchase. So the likelihood of them then wanting to click on an ad, there's more intent in the fact that they may want to do that. So then you can start showing them adverts that are basically trying to upsell them to buy an iPhone 7 case, because you know that these people have just bought an iPhone from you in the past. Next idea of things that we can do is similar to how we were talking about using remarketing lists for search to show ads when our existing customers are searching for competitors, do the same thing where you've got a list of your customers, whether it's an RLSA list again or a customer match list. And when those people are searching on Google for any of the other products or services that you sell, you can show a discount in there because you know that they are an existing customer of yours. So you can be more, you can be a bit more ruthless with the discounts that you're offering. So in this example here, this is just something that I've mocked up that Target could potentially do. We could say, well, we got 10% off Halloween costumes for loyal customers. Use this code at checkout. And I know that that ad is only going to be seen by customers that have made a purchase from me in the past. Next up, using dedicated landing pages for existing customers. I think if you were a shop assistant and you've got a customer that's completely brand new to you that you've never met before versus somebody that comes back and they come in and they buy similar products from you once a month, you're going to greet them totally differently to how you would greet a brand new customer. You've kind of built that rapport with them. You don't need to necessarily sell to them because they already know what you do as a business. So we should take that same methodology and that same approach and apply that to our online advertising as well. So within AdWords, same way as what we've been talking about before, where we're using RLSAs or customer match. If you know that an existing customer is searching for an ad and they're coming through to your site for a second time from a PPC ad, send them through to a landing page that gives them a unique message that's for them. Make them feel like a loved and valued customer rather than trying to basically put all your USPs and everything in there. Make sure that you're actually showing them something that is relevant to them. And you can do this either via your custom CMS systems if you've got that flexibility in there, or using third-party tools like Unbounce. Unbounce is great for this and it comes in at a relatively cheap cost as well. Countdown ads. I don't know if anybody has seen these, but these are the ads that if you look at them, they're basically the discount, the timer will count down, and you can do that within weeks, days, hours, and minutes. So this is great if you're doing anything for Black Friday. Or any sort of special season discounts that you've got. But this can also work really well if you've had a customer that's been on holiday with you, as an example in this example here, and you want to try and encourage them to do a repeat booking with you or a second booking. So in this example here, we're saying for Virgin America, let's say somebody's been on holiday with them before, or they've booked a flight with them before and they've gone to New York. They're then coming back to Google in a subsequent search, and they're trying to then search for flights from to Dallas from New Orleans. So why not say, hey, welcome back from New York City. We already know that they've been there. Repeat booking deals with Virgin, get a second flight discount. You get 25% off if you book in the next 3 days. So countdown ads coupled with RLSA lists or customer match lists can be a really great way of driving urgency and trying to push a discount for a limited time frame. Next up, we've got customer match. With Gmail ads. So if you consider a brand such as Starbucks, for example, where we've got a list of customers that have been with us before, and we're going to try and promote our loyalty scheme. Customers that are tied into loyalty schemes often come back time and time again, and they become a lot more loyal to a brand because they know that they're going to get something in return for doing these repeat purchases. So if you've got a loyalty scheme that you're wanting to push and promote that you may not have launched yet, or you may not have had the uptake that you've been looking for, you can show this to a list of email addresses of people that haven't signed up for your loyalty program yet. And when they're doing emails on Gmail, in the promotions tab, they can start to see an advert at the very top that basically is promoting the loyalty scheme for their existing customers. And the last example I've got for loyalty before we move on to advocacy is how we can use typical standard search ads to basically promote any reward scheme that we've got. So if you look at this example here for Airbnb, and I've done a simple search for Airbnb loyalty scheme, like people that are searching on Google and on Bing are kind of, people are looking for things where they're going to get money off, or they're going to make a saving on whatever it is that they're doing. And if you've got a loyalty scheme and somebody is specifically searching for that, whether it's brand plus rewards, brand plus loyalty program, brand plus rewards program, whatever it is they're searching for, you need to make sure that you've got an ad that is related to that particular program. So with their Airbnb here, they do have a loyalty program, but they're not actually pushing that within their ads. And they're really, really missing a trick, because what's going to basically happen is somebody's searching for that. They're going to go and click onto the points guy there, or the American Express site, which is crazy because Airbnb have one. So they want to try and drive that traffic back through and keep that traffic within their own domain. So as we move on to advocacy. Advocacy, if you're considering what we can do for sort of loyal customers, what we're looking to do here is get our loyal customers, once we've done all this work to try and push them, we want to try and encourage those people to recommend us to other people. And the reason that this is important, if you consider this study here that was done by Bright Lycle, what they're basically saying is 88% of people trust online reviews now, written by other consumers, as much as they trust the recommendations from personal contacts, which is huge, 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 huge. That's 88% of the people that they surveyed. And what's more, 92% of consumers are actually saying that they regularly read online reviews for businesses before they make purchases. So it's getting even more important that as businesses, we need to make sure that we have our loyal customers making recommendations and leaving online reviews for us. So in that same study that we looked at, in the Bright Lycle survey, what they're basically also saying is that 40% of people say that they actually form an opinion reading only 1 to 3 reviews, which is crazy. So people aren't necessarily just digging around. So what we want to make sure is we've got good reviews coming in from our customers, and they're coming in on a frequent basis so that we're keeping them up to date. So here's 6 strategies that we can use to help encourage customers to recommend us to others. First example is using Gmail ads. So if we've got a list of existing customers, upload those into Gmail, and you could do something where you can try and promote a forward to a friend scheme. So in this example here, forward to a friend discount. So in this example here with Deliveroo, they've got an offer here that's basically saying forward this on and you can get 10% off your first order. Now, if you're an existing customer of Deliveroo and you've had a really good experience with them, you'd be more inclined to send that onto friends and try and encourage your friends to then take out that discount as well. So that's one way of doing that. You can also do things where you can try and encourage your existing customers via remarketing to leave online reviews on a chosen platform of your choice. So in this example here, I've chosen hotels.com and I've mocked up a few ads. So let's say that they're wanting to push people to Trustpilot. Within these ads, you don't drive people through to Trustpilot, you drive people back through to your own domain. But then within there, you've got a landing page that's talking about why you want the reviews. And then from that point onwards, you then push them through to Trustpilot. But you can do this within remarketing ads. So if you've got a list of loyal customers that you want to follow around, try and encourage them to leave reviews for you in that way. Once you've got the reviews, what Google then do, once they've chosen, they basically will go to lots and lots of different review platforms, and they will aggregate all of that data. And within your search ads, you then start seeing the star ratings. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm searching for anything on Google and I see something that's got a 4 or 5 star rating, my eyes are immediately drawn to that particular ad because I want to kind of click on that versus one that hasn't. So the more online reviews that we can get, and I think we need 120 in a 12-month period in order for Google to start aggregating these reviews. That's why the frequency and the volume becomes important. Google will then start automatically showing you these within your paid search ads. Similar to what we were talking about with existing customers, what we need to also make sure is if we're sending any new customers through to the site, our landing pages are basically we're making sure that we're covering any sort of third-party reviews that we've got from our existing customers, so testimonials, star ratings, that kind of stuff. And making sure that you've got those on your landing pages. And I'm seeing the term human-to-human banded around quite a lot at the moment rather than B2C and B2B. So people are saying, let's think H2H, which seems a bit stupid really, but it's true. I think the more that people say when they're looking at websites and they're seeing reviews on there from other customers and they're seeing positive reviews, people are really influenced by those. Likewise, people are influenced by negative reviews as well. So it's important to make sure that we're considering making sure that we've got those on the landing pages for new customers that are coming into the site. Next up is again using Gmail ads with Customer Match again, but you can use this if you've got any form of a recommend a friend scheme that you want to promote to your existing customers. You can do this within Gmail. Same way as what we've looked at Gmail ads throughout the rest of this presentation, but you can use that to basically upload an image ad and show them to people that are reading their emails on Gmail, and you can try and promote your recommend a friend scheme and get them to basically start joining up that scheme and recommending you to others as well. And the last example that I've got is using Gmail again, but this way it's a slightly different way. So if you've got a recommend a friend scheme, you know that, and you've got people that are signing up to that, you know that these type of people are kind of looking to get a discount off of something, or they're looking to get something in exchange for doing something for you. So what you could do is you could start targeting anybody that is receiving emails from any of the cashback sites, such as Top Cashback, Quidco, etc. And if they're receiving emails from these domains, then start showing them ads promoting your Recommend a Friend scheme as well, and try and encourage them to sign up and join your scheme as well. For the final section of this presentation, I just want to talk very, very briefly about attribution. And the reason that this is important is if you look at this conversion path here, so this is an e-commerce site. And I've basically pulled this off just to give you an overview and a kind of a look and feel for how people tend to search when it comes to PPC ads. And this is purely PPC ads. So this is the journey that people have taken. These ads here are our dynamic search ads or remarketing ads. This is campaigns. We've also then here got our standard search network campaigns, followed by Google Shopping, followed by brand. So you can see in these examples how many campaigns an individual person has had to touch, how many times they've actually clicked on a particular ad in a particular campaign before they've come back and converted. So the conversion paths for a customer, depending on your business, can be quite long, and they can also be quite consuming in the fact that they're clicking on paid ads. They could also be clicking on organic, then some social listings, whatever it is that they're doing. So attribution plays a massive part when it comes to PPC. The reason it plays a big part to PPC is when you're looking at a standard PPC report in AdWords, the conversion will be attributed to the last ad or the last campaign that was clicked. So in this example, if you look at the top example here, it's a shopping campaign. If I was to sit there and say, well, my brand campaign, which are the red ones, the brand campaign's not working, I'm just going to switch that off. Now, that assisted and it helped my person that was actually converting on a shopping ad to actually convert. It helped them along their journey. So if you just start switching things off that you don't think are converting, it can really impact the sales at the end of that conversion funnel. So it's important to consider how different campaigns, keywords, and ad groups play a part with each other in order to actually help somebody through that purchase journey before you decide what to switch off. Two last reports that you can look at within here. You can use the assisted conversions report in AdWords to actually see at campaign level the last click conversions, which is what AdWords will typically report on, and also how many click assisted conversions and click assisted value you've had off the back of that as well. And then the report that we were looking at earlier, this is the top pass report, which shows you how many campaigns get clicked and what campaigns get clicked off the back of that. So a couple of final thoughts for you. You work really, really hard to obtain a new customer. Don't make it easy for them to leave you, and make sure that you've got your happy customers helping you to gain new ones. Target everybody at every stage of the conversion funnel, and remember that your audience is your unique marketing point. Thank you very much.